Okay, guys, we are back. So let me just go here. Okay, so this is the main, the app. Okay, we don't need this to be open anymore. And all this is already set inside the index blade.php. But we need to do something now. That is the page that is going to show the contents of a single post, because we need to see those. So let me just, we need to do something else here. So let's say views, we need to add another one, which I have it as show that blade that php. And let's just go to the controllers for a second. Is on http controllers and posts php. Okay, just give me a second. So we will need to add a new function, which is show. I try to keep the naming of the views similar name to what I add, except that this store is well, not is in order to store the information. So we have the create, we have the index. So let's add the show. So let's just add it below the index, since it's kind of the same. So public function, we're going to say show, and for this we're going to receive a string which is an ID. No, well, yeah, I need to do this. And okay, so we need to get the current post, and this one is going to get from the post model that we have and get or use the find method in order to find the ID that we are receiving from the parameters, which in this case we are going to say to a string. You can say whatever you want here, it could be a number, whatever. So just make sure that you're receiving the correct information. A return view is going to be the show. Okay, so remember that the view is equals to the name of that we have here. So show, index, and create. You can see those are the names that we add inside the view method. And we're going to say width. So you can see that it's similar to what we're returning here. So with post, I think I have it. No, I have it as current. And what we're going to pass is the current post. So that should be fine. So let's save that, and let's say this and get the post using the current post. Let's say using the post ID. Let's just add it like that, and we have that. Let's refresh this, and we don't have anything because the template is currently empty. So let me just get that, and we need to do the same thing as we did before, that is extend the layout and use the section content. We are going to say stop here, and we're going to add the parent. So this is going to be quite long. So what we're going to do, let's just, because here we're going to have the functionality that is going to delete and update the information. So I don't want to add that right now in order to keep it as it should be. So class flex section and div class first row. Let's close this div right away so we don't lose track of that. The next thing is that we're going to say h2. Let's type all these options. Yeah, it's h2, sorry. So we have a button with ID open panel, and we're going to say open panel, open edit panel. Okay, so here what we're going to do is to show, let's say like this, I forgot this, okay, show the form that will allow us to delete the post, something like that. Okay, so that is going to go inside this div, so we're just going to leave it like that. And no, sorry, just give me a second because it seems I got it kind of wrong. Okay, no, sorry, because this is in fact a div. This is being wrapped inside a div, so let's just grab that and do it like this. Okay, so the button and the form are going to be inside a div. Sorry about that, I just didn't see that very well. So let's just indent this a little bit. Okay, so I was like, what the hell? Why I have another closing div there? So the next thing is the other div. So this one is actually okay, I have this indented. Sorry, div and div. So this is the second row class, second row, and most of these things is just to make it look kind of good, you know, just to play with the layout and have something different. So the second row is going to actually have the information that we are receiving from the controller, okay, from the show method inside the controller, and here we can start accessing the current and say title. So far that should work, and say image source, and the source is going to be, just let me grab this so I don't want to type all these things. So we need to go one directory up, storage covers, and that's it. And I have a div here which is going to contain the current and content. Okay, so that's it. So far so good, and we need to remove the spacing here so I don't get confused. And remember that I showed you, let's save this and take a look at this, and you can see we have the information. Okay, so as I showed you, we have an open edit panel. Okay, we have that, but it's not displaying here. You can see the links and all that. So this is something that we're going to add later. So this is going to be the add the edit panel, and I did this kind of weird layout in order to show you that you can also play with all the information here, because I see Laravel courses that are actually you know, they create every view to handle everything, every kind of functionality. So for the update, they do another one. For the delete, the delete is actually different because it's going to be set here. But for you to understand that you can add all the functionality here together, so that is something that kind of threw me off when I was checking Laravel. I like PHP, but I'm not using that pretty often. And I do like Laravel, but you know, with some tutorials you don't get the full idea. So, okay, why I still okay? So far so good. So let's add the CSS For that section, let's go all the way down. Let me go to main CSS, and we have the first row. Okay, let me just get this margin right. We're going to say first row form input, and this is going to go for the next thing that we're going to add in the next video. So I will keep, as I said before, try to keep this video short, because this is kind of weird if you're not used to do it. So first row form input, open panel and close panel. And let's open panel and close panel. We will add this later. So we will already have the stylings, open panel, close panel, and button or button. And this is going to be now for the second row, the image, the div, the edit panel that we're going to add later. So just copy all this, okay? Or at least style it kinda like this. So you will see, let's refresh this. We get to see this differently, and if we do this, of course it's not working because it needs actually the JavaScript in order to work. And let's just add, okay, so let me just add the form. My CSS is kind of messed up, but form, edit panel form input text area, and the rest first row form input. And that is going to be, this one is red because it's going to be for the delete. That's why I'm handling this way. And let's just refresh, and we should be able to see, for example, the create post. I don't know. Never translate English. So you can see, I think I have this one before, but I can't remember. So the stylings, but I had to handle the two styles differently, that are the edit that we're going to open in a second, or in the next video. So just let me add the last thing, that is a little meta query. So this will finish actually our CSS. We will need, we would not need to add anything else. So let's say media screen for 1400 pixels. The hero is going to change. The hero is going to be the image that we're going to add later. We should add that in the end of the series, in case you want to check it. If not, that will not steal your time. So main section flex is going to be display block, and the first row div display flex, and the open panel is going to move a little bit. So let's refresh this and let's see. Okay, kinda, so it doesn't break. You can change it later, of course. Laravel post. Okay, just to make this, of course this one has the flex wrap. So those are mainly for what we're going to add here. So nothing changed too much, in fact, with what we can see. Okay, so actually just give me a second. Okay, the thing here, and I didn't realize that it was going to show this way, but this should be here. Let me just say this. Okay, so I want this to show it like that, so it's going to be 100, yeah, sure, 1300 pixels. I want this to look like this. That's why I don't know if I show you this layout, but I show you, I can remember. So now if we do this, okay, you can see that it's going to change, and you can make this bigger, whatever. I just didn't feel like doing more changes to the layout or to what we are seeing here. So this is it. We already have the information. We have the edit panel. Well, it's not working yet, but we will add that last, because that is a little bit of work in the controller. So we will add in the next video the delete. So see you in the next one.